Match ball, Phil Foden, 9 consecutive wins in all competitions for the reigning champions, Manchester City. It was almost tonight, we've spoken and everybody was talking about the return of Haaland and De Bruyne together, that Phil Foden's almost said, listen, don't forget about me, I'm still here.
Well, I bet you that he actually feels like that. I bet he thinks, hang on a minute, everybody talks about De Bruyne and Haaland and I'm just as good as those. You've got to have that confidence when you go out into the pitch. And he's obviously only going to get better. You would have thought someone like De Bruyne has hit his ceiling and it's how long he can maintain this great form. Whereas I think someone like Phil Foden can keep getting better with experience. He's still a young boy. So, yeah, I think he definitely sees himself in that top category of players. And they all are, to be honest. Every one of those attacking players from Manchester City can take the game away from any team in the Premier League. They're that good. Just so happened that tonight was Phil Foden's night and he almost single-handedly, put Brentford to the sword.
Michael talks about experience. He's got 14 major honours, 5 titles already in his career.
What I like about his journey up to this day is that City really took care of him. So they didn't throw him straight away because he's talented and we need to show that we can provide young players, young British talent. They took him on his first season with, 10 games there. He got the medal of the champion, and then the following season he played a little bit more, and the third season he became a starter. And like Mo said, I think he would just get better and better. And what's good with him, I think in today's football, players need to be able to understand position. Phil can play as a false 9, he could play number 10, he can play number 8, he can play on the wings. That's important, maybe not so much for Manchester City because they have the money to buy the player they want. But if you look at the lower club, it's important to have players like James Milner who can fit and play different position, And I think he's the modern kind of players that can play equally good anywhere you want. And for a team like City, you have Bernardo Silva, then you can fit him on the number 10. You have Kevin De Bruyne, you can play him on the left wing. I think he's a very special talent, obviously British, so English people must be proud of that. But like Mo said, I think he would just get better with experience.
You also said that you felt his first goal right on the stroke of half-time was the crucial one in terms of the outcome of the game today.
Yeah, I just thought it would have totally changed the team talk for both managers, really. It would totally change the feel around the game for both teams. If Brentford had gone in at 1-0, then it might have been a different story. And it was a mistake. I do think it was a mistake. I think a more experienced defender, a better defender, would probably position his feet better. I mean, he almost kills the speed of the ball. He can let it go, he can flick it out for a corner, he can head it to the left, to the right, but anywhere by dropping it down on the penalty spot, right in the path of Phil Foden. He makes no mistake. Just make sure he keeps it down, hits it straight into the ground. But I do think it was an avoidable, a goal that they could have avoided.
But then it just took 8 minutes into the second half for City to turn the screw, and you love the delivery here from De Bruyne.
I mean, this is what Pep wants from him. We know Kevin is not someone who's going to dribble past players, but in those situations, in the half space, there's not a player in Europe that can deliver like this. You can see him actually stopping his run right there and then deliver the perfect ball to the perfect player. There's some work to do when the ball arrives to Foden. It's not a simple goal, but the ball is just delicious,
Personally, I think, lots of players will just knock the ball into areas. But I think Phil Foden's got his arm up. He's pointing to where he's got it. I think you can see De Bruyne, he lifts his head up just before he gets it out of his feet. I think he's actually pinpointed that one right into the perfect area. Really interested as well in terms of the finish. You've got 2 posts to aim for, and he's headed it down at probably a harder finish, actually. You're getting less on it into this nearer corner. And, you can only do that finish, really, if you've got a lot of pace or enough pace on the ball. Normally you'd head the ball back where it came from into that far post. But this time he just slides it into the near post. It's a brilliant, brilliant finish. But as I say, you can only do this if you've got enough pace on the ball.
We can argue also the movement of the 2 centre-backs. They run into each other. Again, they cross their run. You see the defender most toward the goal. He's actually dropping again. This is small mistake, and against teams like City, you don't want to make those mistakes. It's very details, but it costs goal and obviously points.
And maybe the finish is more impressive because that's a collector's item. 73 Manchester City goals. That's just his third ever header.
Yeah, but I would say that Manchester City in general over the years have not been a crossing team. No. Now they've got Erling Haaland, of course, and you play to your strengths. But really, who have they had over the years? Sergio Aguero and players like that. Good in the air, don't get me wrong, but not really a team that get the ball wide and just chip it up in the air. They're always little cutbacks. How many times do you see Manchester City score a goal with a little tap in from 2 or 3 yards out? Raheem Sterling used to do it all the time. So I don't think they're a team that play to score lots and lots of headed goals. But he's just shown there. That was a cracking header, really difficult header. So he's just proven that he can do it when the service comes in.
Erling Haaland's all about goals, obviously, but he did get the assist for the hat-trick goal into Foden's feet.
Yeah, he will be a little bit frustrated. You know, he has for a few balls, you know, in the space. Usually we can find him. It's his first game back, but I think the pass, the lay back to Phil Foden is perfect. You know, they make it look very simple, but the ball is perfectly on his left foot in the run. Of course, there's a lot of work to do for Foden, but the pass from Haaland to Foden is just perfect. It's that simple. They make it so simple that it actually looks simple, but it is not cool as you like.
I love the way he takes a lot of little touches here. 1, 2, 3 to get into position. If he takes one big touch to get into that same position, I'm not sure it comes off. But the way he's got such tight control and manipulates the ball into the perfect position, and as he's about to strike, you just watch him there. He's never ever looking at the ball. He's watching the goalkeeper. Give me a clue. Where you're going to go? Where shall I put it? And he's just looking, and then strikes it without even looking at the goalkeeper. It's brilliant. You know, look at his eyes here. 1 touch, 2 touch, tight control. Never looking down. Always knowing where the ball is. Look, he's just staring at the goalkeeper. What are you going to do? Never ever looking at him. And he makes his mind up for him. He gives him a little gap in that near post and slots it in.
Yeah, another goal on this record-breaking weekend. In a 10-game match week, 45 goals. That is a record in the Premier League era. We have been spoilt this weekend.
We have, yeah. We were very lucky to do the Sunday games. Loads of goals on the Saturday as well, but it's been a fantastic match week. And it's really shaped, I think. It's really ignited the title race. We've all thought, is it a 2? Is it a 3? But the results over the last couple of days have really, you know, closed the pack together, and now we're all excited for what's to come.
And you said right at the top of the show, you felt yesterday ignited it, and City have responded now.
I think it was. Obviously, we're still far from the last game of the season, but you feel in the season moments like that. You know, last year was the same. You know, you have a specific game, and you think 8 points if Arsenal lose. The gap, you know, and you take Arsenal out of the competition. Obviously, they come back, and you know, City having 2 games in hand, even more so against Brentford. You know, 90% they're going to take the 3 points. So I said at the beginning of the season it's going to be a very interesting season. You know, I could feel that, and I think we on. I think the quality of the players we have in the Premier League is just phenomenal. It's going to be a nice end of the season.
Yeah, from a neutral point of view, it'd be brilliant to see through all 3 horses. And I suppose Aston Villa fans are screaming at the television at the moment.
Yeah.
So, well, we might have a shout as well, but as many as possible going for it.
Yeah, absolutely. You still have to think that Manchester City are the slight favourites. They've got all their players fit at the moment as well. You know, just when the going gets tough, they've got everybody fit. You saw the team that started today. It was simply the best team they could field, really.
Yeah, and they are fit, they are firing, and they have a hat-trick hero waiting to speak to us, Phil Foden at the GTEC Stadium. Phil, good to see you. Well done. How special does that feel?
Yeah, very special. It's not often I score a hat-trick. I think it's my second time now, so yeah, you have to enjoy it and make the most of it.
How important was your first to get level just before half-time?
Yeah, I think it was really important in terms of how the game was going. It came at the right time, gave us momentum going into the second half, and then we believed that we could win the game.
Because obviously you were behind and you'd had all those chances, and the goalkeeper made, I think, 9 saves in that first half.
Yeah, the keeper was on fire, to be fair. He made some worldies. Yeah, but the team we are, you know, we remain patient, we believe in ourselves and keep going. And I thought the way we controlled the game throughout the full game today was so good to see, because we've struggled there in the past, and they cause other teams a lot of problems.
Yeah, now you are, of course, the youngest player to get a Premier League medal. Gail Clichy's with us. He took his record, so I'm going to hand it over to Gail. Go on, Gail.
Congratulations, Phil.
Thank you.
Well, I just have a question. You know, we often hear big teams, you know, once they've won silverware, saying that, you know, every time they approach a game, they go and start a game, they feel so confident that they know they're going to win the game. I remember back in the days with the Invincible, you know, it's such a feeling that you know you're strong all around the pitch. You know you have quality, that you're actually going to win the game. Do you guys feel that?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I'm playing with world-class players and, you know, they decide games on their own sometimes. So, yeah, it's that belief we have. Now we've got the badge on the shirt. We haven't achieved that for nothing, you know. So we have to play with that belief without being too big-headed. We have to play with that confidence and go into games believing that we can win. So, yeah.
Phil, it's Michael Owen here. I was looking at your goals in a lot of detail tonight. 3 different finishes, 3 very good finishes. Of course, we've seen the first one, you're keeping the ball down. The second one I was really interested in. You had 2 big options, obviously heading the ball back across. Why did you go for this near corner? Was it because it had so much pace on the ball, or I mean, it was because it's the trickier finish probably of the 2?
Honestly, I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I don't know. Obviously Kev is fantastic to play with, and I think I didn't have to put a lot on it the way the ball was. So yeah, I just directed it at goal and happy to see it go in. I don't score a lot of headers.
Third one, Phil.
Third one. Oh,
yeah.
I got told second before.
No, it's 3. It's 3.
Oh, it's 3. Okay. So yeah, some of that I want to keep doing. You know, try and score in headers. And just improve my game. So glad I got in the right area today and scored the header.
OK, well, if you don't know much about that second goal, talk us through the third one. Tight control, 2 or 3 touches. And what we noticed when you were running through here, Phil, is you never ever look down at the ball. And what you do, in terms of the goalkeeper, you're just waiting for him to give you a little edge, a little angle, to give you a little gap.
Yeah, I think Rodri intended to play the ball to me originally. But, you know, it went to Earl and I had to react. Earl set the ball really well, and it was all just in one stride from there onto the goal. And it's the manager's big on it at the moment for me to stay patient in front of goal and not rush things, and I thought I showed composure on the last goal, so it's a step in the right direction.
You certainly did. Your second hat-trick, your 9th win in a row. Well done. Thanks very much indeed for talking to us.
Cheers, thanks guys. Thank you.
Phil Foden live for you from the GTEX Stadium. Let's go back there now and hear from his manager. Here he is, Pep Guardiola.
Pep, you surely created a lot of chances in the first half. What did you feel changed in the decision-making and the effectiveness in the final third?
Well, the quality, the assist from Kevin, the ability in the small spaces from Phil, Julian, a really tough game because for experience, what they do amazingly. Every corner, every free kick, when they link with Tony is unstoppable. But we were there. I think we played a really good game. A lot of shoots. The keeper was excellent in the first half, and we were fortunate to go to I think we deserved it, but go 1-1 in the half time. The 1-0 is completely different, and after the second half was much better.
Your Foden hat-trick. I wanted to ask you specifically about his reading of the game and how it progressed throughout the years, because his reading of the game allows him to be in the right places and take the right decisions. So how do you assess this progress of his game?
I don't know. I play a lot of games. I don't know the age. I think I played I don't know how many games already with Man City, and it's a guy who play in different positions in this type of games. Like they are so tight, had the ability in the pockets, they had the ability to, in the sense of goal, because he likes to arrive to the box with. We had 3 players today, but we knew that they make incredible high pressing, but after when they defend deep, they are so deep, and the spaces are ridiculous. It's so difficult, and have a player that they move good in these spaces is really important.
He still impresses you with his decision making and his finishing as well.
Yeah, the first especially, and the third one as well. And he's a guy with a sense of goal. He loves to be moving the ATR box and have a lot of weapons with the shoots, with ahead of the second one. So I think he's playing his best seasons since we are together. So the incidents in the goals and assists playing in these central positions are unbelievable.
Because maybe of the timing and the type of movement that they have to make, do you think usually strikers take more time to get into rhythm?
From handling?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so tall. But always is incredible threat, has a chance, and does it for the third. And how create the space for the people from the second position. So I don't think there is a striker in the world playing against Brentford, and the way they defended their box is comfortable. So, but he's back. He's played 90 minutes after 2 months off. So for the rhythm, for everything, it's really important.
It was a very dominant performance for sure. But and I know when you analyze your defending, you don't look at numbers. You look at so many things. But the lack of clean sheets, what do you think it says? Does it bother or not?
No, I would prefer don't have it, but. Yeah, sometimes they have periods that I think will reduce the chances they concede, and especially the goals we concede is less than a month ago. But yeah, it would be better, to the goal we concede, that we know it. So always one striker goes, the other goes in behind, and we didn't cover well. And Tony is not easy to defend. He's an exceptional player. He's not easy to defend.
And finally, yes, I saw you having a little chat with Neil Maupay in the end, and all good?
All good.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Well, that was really interesting. City, incidentally, play first, of course, at the weekend in the early kickoff. They could be top of the league for the first time since mid-November, which is ominous. Interesting to hear him say that Phil Foden's having his best consistent season since getting into the team.
Well, it depends how you want to see it. I mean, he's part of a team at such a young age who complete the treble. So obviously, individually, a player like this who plays forwards, we will be looking at numbers, statistics. He just came out of a hat-trick. So obviously, tonight, we're talking like this. But I would say, I think he said it, when you play for a team like this, at this age and this position, you need to be so good at everything. You have to be composed. You need to be able to make the runs. You need to be able to defend because you're young and we expect that from you. You need to deliver assists. You need to deliver goals. That's a lot of things that we ask for a young player. So I don't know if he's playing his best football, but for sure, there's more to come. I'm guaranteed that he will still progressing, and this is not the end for City and Phil Foden. I mean, it's a joy to watch, and I think he said it. He can play many different positions, and I think that's the key. And for Phil, there's no limit, really.
Just think how well you've got to play, though, to stay in this team. He must be playing incredibly well in Pep's eyes to stay in this team. Jack Grealish had the most incredible season, certainly towards the end of the season. He can't get a look in him.
And look at the way Doku's played this season.
I mean, he's absolutely brilliant. He's come into this team and he's been absolutely brilliant. So you're keeping players like that. If you have one slight average game, somebody like that can come into your place. So you've got to be keeping your levels so high in this Manchester City team. Competition for places. Now everyone's fit is great. And Pep Guardiola will be loving that everybody's fit again.
Yeah, well, Brentford gave them a scare, didn't they? Going ahead in the first half. Let's hear what the Bees manager thinks about it. Here he is, Thomas Frank.
Thomas, it's very hard to hold City because they're going to keep pressing and they're going to keep trying. But how do you assess the execution of the game plan tonight?
I think overall, a good performance. I think actually throughout the game. I think first half, especially I felt we defended well when we had to do a lot of defending, obviously, against City. And I think we limited them to shots outside the box, except the chance to Haaland that we gave him because it's a bad pass from us. And so we do so many things right, and we're almost, halfway there. And then they defend so well, the boys in there. But I think it's a minor mistake, unfortunately, we make for the 1-1 goal. Then second half we continue, and then we talk a lot about closing down De Bruyne, and he made one unbelievable precise pass, and then they showed the quality to 2-1. So I think those two goals was the difference, and the chances we had the other way around with I think the score was 2-1, big chance to Christian Nørgaard, big chance to Ivan. Those are the moments that we need to take if we want to beat them, the best team in the world.
Yeah, you showed to be very dangerous, especially when you're playing direct at times. But is it hard to impose intensity when you're playing against a team that has the tempo as such a strong feature, the pause?
Yeah, of course, it's difficult no matter how you do against City. But as I said, I think we did a lot of things right, and it was the key moments where we didn't have the quality, or where they showed their tremendous quality.
3 points above the drop zone. You saw their next 6 fixtures on the screen there. Would you be overly concerned about Brentford's position?
Not concerned. I think they'll be fine. I think they've got too much quality.
You do?
I think they're fine. But those fixtures were really tough, weren't they? And they're not, they're not in a great run of form at the moment. But they have got too much
7
quality.
of the last 8.
Yeah, I know. And we saw the results from their last load of games, and it's really winnable games, because the next few are not really that winnable. So I think they'll be all right. I think there's certainly worse teams in the league than them. But it is a little bit of a worry, because they've been on a real steady progression for many, many years now. And it feels like they're just going through a little bit of a dip. But I think he's a top manager, and he'll get them back on track. It might just be in some 7 or 8 games and not the next 5 or 6.
Michael Gale, thank you very much indeed for your company. So Brentford finally beaten by Manchester City. They saw Arsenal beat Liverpool on Sunday. Their response, emphatic tonight. Suddenly, they're 2 points off the top. See you soon.